Yo, people, what's going on? Back again with another episode. The guy Hamez is in the building.
Mate, G. Come
What
on,
you
bruv.
what you saying, my brother? What you saying?
Chilling, lads, chilling. Not gonna lie to you. Happy the season is now officially over. No more worry, no more aggro, and just chill, man. Do you know what I mean? And we can enjoy the Euros. We can watch the players all come together and whatnot. And do you know what, lads? I could not be happier. Could not be happier. I've had a good day, been chilling, just got out the shower, which is why my head's looking like such a mess. But besides all that, absolutely fucking marvellous. Oh, don't me scar fell then. Absolutely marvellous, bro. How's yourself?
Sweet, man. Not too bad, bruv. Gym done for the day.
Shit.
Last live stream of the day. You know what I mean? Well, can't complain, bro. All gravy,
Smashing
man.
it.
All good, man. All good
Smashing
round
it.
here. And man's on the brink of 60,000. I think I'm like 10.
Hush.
I think I'm like 10 subs away or something like that.
Oh, we can get that in the next minute. Come on, people. Don't even be...
Yeah.
Have I got
So-
a channel on my phone?
You know what I'm saying? It's one of them ones. Yeah, I'm 9 away now. 9 subs away. So hopefully by the end of this stream, I'll be on 60,000 subs. And obviously I just have to say mad love to everyone that's been supporting the channel. Like it's grown
Big up,
stupidly over the last, I want to say a year, but it hasn't even been a year yet. Over the last like 10 months, I think it's been stupid. It's been something like 30,000 or something like that. So
Yeah. Oh, no, it's been mad. It's been mad. Even like, because I've been coming on the show for, I don't know how long it's been, but
yeah.
roughly like maybe 7-8 months around there. The growth
Yeah.
of this channel on all of the shows that you do, it's been stupid, man. So
Yeah.
congratulations to yourself and big up everyone in the chat as well.
Trust
as
me, big up.
always.
Yeah, big up everyone that's been interacting with the show, showing the shows mad love, liking, sharing, and all that. Obviously,
The interaction that's mad with this channel. The interaction,
That's what it is.
That's 100. Like, you know, not many channels get that same level of interaction with the chat and whatnot, and the fact that everyone, even if we don't agree, it's respectful and, you know, it's
Yeah.
banter, and it's just it's a good vibe, man. Do you know what I mean? That's why I always really look forward to this show, not even to blow smoke.
Yeah, but that's what it is. That's what I pride myself on. At the end of the day, it's all about interaction and about the community. It's like every one of my 60,000 subs, yeah, they look after me, bruv. They're in the channel, they support, man. Do you know what I mean? There's channels with 200,000 subs, yeah, that don't get the interaction I get, don't get the views I get. Do you know what I mean? And it's mad. You'll go live on a channel with 200,000 subs and there might be 500 people in there, bro. Like, I don't do a show that has less than 1,500 people in here. Do you know what I mean? So it's crazy, man. And that's, I mean, I appreciate all of you lot, man. Like, legit. Obviously, loads of you lot message me and tell me how much like I've helped you lot through lockdown. But the honest truth is, yeah, if I was logging on every day with all the hard work I put in and you lot weren't supporting me, I'd fuck it off and do something else, bruv. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not, you know, when they say like flogging a dead horse, not me, bro. I done very, very well in school. Like I could get a normal job, no problem. You know what I mean? If I wasn't doing well, I would have fucked this off a long time ago. So you lot keep me motivated. You don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? You lot keep me motivated to keep working, keep putting out content. Them man are saying I've hit it.
No. Hush. One of them ones, the LeBron James.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
yeah.
you, that brother.
I've
That's
hit
all
it,
you,
I've
that
hit it,
brother.
I've hit it.
Listen, big up to everyone in the chat, man, as always. Moments like this is what make this all the more beautiful. These little milestones, lads, and they absolutely should be celebrated. And big up to yourself, man, because you worked hard for it. And we do appreciate all the support that you show, all of us, on a week-to-week basis. Because this community, it's a thing that's spread out. It's not even just on this channel. There's people on this channel who'll jump over to man or jump over to Saeed's, and that's what creates... That's what creates the sort of value out of this, do you know what I mean? Because obviously, you know, we've already said it, people help us, they support us, they help us live in many ways, but not everyone has to be doing this, and it's the fact that we are able to do this that we're really appreciative for. So big up everyone.
Yeah, no, honestly, I appreciate all of you lot, and that's why, you know, like a lot of you lot interact with me on here. I mean, I read out a lot of your comments, bruv, not just the super chats. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, man, DM me on Instagram. If you catch me at the right time, you lot have spoken to me at some point. Do you know what I mean? I interact with you lot, so I appreciate it. And no, Lee Gunners, it's bank holiday, he's spending it with his family. So we're doing our show on Wednesday. So we are doing it this week, but not today, man. And bruv, like, I'm just, yeah, man, I'm buzzing. Like, literally. Now, I appreciate all of you lot.
Late, lad. Made
Like
a good day
60,000.
turn well better. Mate,
Yeah,
good
nah,
to
you
whether-
lot have made my day still. That's what I mean. Literally, my channel's doubled since the start of the year, bro. Like, I remember, because I was in Dubai in July gone, and we're in May now. Do you know what I'm saying? And I remember when I was in Dubai, that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to start doing multiple streams and start getting serious. And literally, since July till now, you know what I mean, man, double my channel. So it's mad. I appreciate all of you lot.
now you're reaping the rewards, my friend. Congratulations to yourself, yeah. Congratulations to yourself. Nah, honestly, lads, sincerely from a friend as well. Just I'm buzzing for you, lads. It's good to see the hard work pay off. You deserve it.
Yeah, man. No, I'm happy, man. I'm super happy, guys. And yeah, man. Let's get into the show. Like, genuinely, I'm super fucking happy, guys. Like, you don't even understand, innit?
Good vibes, man. I like the start of that show. I like to start off a show with a little milestone, you know, or a big milestone in this case. Like, big up everyone. All the time.
It's massive.
Cannot
for me,
stress
man.
it enough. Can't stress
It's
it
massive.
enough.
It's massive for me. I'm super happy, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I know I always do things the hard way. Do you know what I mean? I say whatever the fuck I want. Do you know what I mean? And do you know what I mean? The easiest way to grow on this platform is to sit on the fence and try and keep everyone happy, innit?
It's
And
authentic. It's authentic, though, lads. And that's what people,
do that.
you know, really yeah.
That's it. And because I don't do that, I know I always do things the hard way, but it makes it so much more satisfying when you do things on your own terms. Do you know what I mean? Yep. So I feel fucking great, man. Yeah, the Euro content's gonna be super lit. Make sure you follow me on Twitch as well, guys, because it's all gonna be over there exclusively on Twitch. So in the description of all of my videos, I have the link for the Twitch. Make sure you subscribe to the Twitch. The news coming out of the England camp, not the UK, because if I supported Liverpool, I'd be buzzing. Is talk apparently Trent's not going to the Euros, apparently. And if that's the case, that's beautiful for Liverpool because he had a shit start to the season. He finished well, and I wouldn't mind the lad having a break, to be honest.
Shane. I've always said to Liverpool fans, don't ever be offended by a decision from the manager that is Gareth Southgate. Please do not take any offence to a decision. Just because he might not rate Trent higher than certain players really does not mean that we should be harsh. You've just said it yourself. Trent, in the last few games of the season, in the last 2 months or so, that dog outside doesn't shut up, man. It's a little shit, you know, runs it proper all the time. Oh, honestly, lads, it's just a little chihuahua and it's just always there growling. Nah, but the thing about Trent, at the end of last season, he smashed it. He really, really did. And I always like to think it has made him better with the fact he had the absence of Henderson and a Virgil van Dijk. But as for this Euros, he's still young. He's still got time to compete in World Cups and European competitions. He knows that he's had a bad season. So if there was any year that he was going to get dropped, it makes sense for it to be this one. It's not like it's going to confuse him. It's not like he's going to be sitting there if he does get dropped and thinking, I played really well all season. Why am I not getting started? It's not the season where you've just won the Champions League. It's a season, arguably his worst one since coming into first team football. But I was just glad to see that he could carry himself out of that by the end, because I always believe, you know, I can think of a few examples. Let's say Leicester when they won the league, but the season before they nearly got relegated, but they had that good run before the end of the year. West Ham 17th last year, do you know what I mean? And then had that good run, and then all the way to this season was able to carry over that momentum. So players like Trent, and this is why I love the fact we did have a good end to the season. Players like Trent, I do want to see them carry that over, because there's not that element of you're the best anymore. Clearly, at least, because there was so many people saying he was clearly the best right back at one point. Now there's many more people in that conversation because he's dropped a few levels. That's just football. And it's the same with, you know, Mane, who's dropped in form and whatnot. But on this topic, I wouldn't mind to see it myself. I've always said, mate, if Trent gets rested for the, you know, throughout the summer and comes back with the actual Liverpool team, then I'm sound with that. Because then there's no chance of injury, there's no chance of interruption.
It can only be good for Liverpool, let's face it. Do you know what I mean? And as you said, Gareth Southgate's opinion on any footballer in the world is irrelevant. Like, let's be honest. It's fucking irrelevant. If Gareth Southgate turns around and says, "So, bruv, this is the same guy that didn't want to pick Jack Grealish," you know. So
that's what I always like to think of it. He should be the first name on the team sheet, and he's not.
That's it. So honestly, like, if he is not going to take Trent, it's not an insult. And also, that's an area that England are very heavily stocked in as well. So, bruv, if I was Trent, shout out the boys. I'd be like, listen, the world's open back up. Let's go on holiday. Feet up. nice, relaxing thing and think
Go
about
for
next
the
season
scram.
with
Go
Liverpool.
for it. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
go for the
Next
scram,
season
man,
with
because-
Liverpool, we're going to be challenging for the title next season. We're going to sign some players. Do you know what I mean? Bro, come on, man. That's what it should be about. Like, honestly, I just don't. Honestly, for banter purposes, people are going to have a field day with the Trent Alexander thing on Twitter. But honestly, in real life, England ain't going to win the fucking Euros. He's not missing out on a medal. You know what I mean? Now, what's he missing out on? What's he fucking missing out on?
He's missing out on the quarterfinals of the Euros, Rants. What do you mean? That's a big achievement. Got to the semi-finals of the World Cup and we were posting about that. Getting knocked out by Croatia.
We ain't necessarily going to the Euros, we're not going to the quarterfinals necessarily. That's all.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
The group
That's
stage
all.
is moody, isn't it? The group stage
Bruv,
is a
like,
moody.
it's not even that it's moody. We've got the two Eastern Bloc countries that really we should beat. But bruv, should beat and England should never be put in the same sentence.
Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else's group. Sorry, we've got like Scotland and that, don't we? It's not even that bad.
Yeah,
What am I
Scotland,
thinking of?
Croatia, and Czech Republic.
I've said this. We're going to get 4 points. 4 points. 4 points. Croatia will beat us, no doubt.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Modric
I
by
think
himself.
so as well. I think
They'll
that
smash
England
us.
will lose one, win one.
We're going to
and
draw against
one,
Scotland.
possibly,
It's
yeah.
Scotland we're going to draw, and then we'll beat that other team like 1-0 in like,
Czech
you know what I mean?
Republic.
Like the 60th
Yeah.
minute. Like one of them games. But I was thinking of, is it like Portugal, France, and someone else in the...
Yes,
the
and
same
Germany
group?
all in the same group.
Mad. That's a mad one right there.
Of death, bruv.
If there ever could be more of a group of death, that's it right there.
That
That
group
is it
is
right there.
mad, bruv. Like, on paper, Germany have to go home. But you just know in these
It should be
tournaments, you just
closer.
don't fucking know, bruv.
It should
But
be
imagine
closer
Portugal
to
end up
our
going
games.
home.
Madness. That'd be a
Honestly.
shame. That'd be a shame as well, because I'd love to see some of them players like really make a name for themselves in this competition, because there's so many young players like at Portugal at the moment. Even Diogo Jota, even though he's probably not even going to start, he's like 23, so he's going, if he can get an involvement, get a couple of goals, him, Felix, these type of players, that'll be sick, man. But as for the Trent situation, I'm like you, go away. Have a scran, have a few bevies, because next year you're going to need to come back harder, you're going to need to come back fitter,
100.
you know what I mean? Because when you have a bad season, you're going to be thinking, right, I'm going to need to at least make adjustments. That's an athlete mentality. Like, if I've dropped off in some areas, I've got to change something. Don't even over-change it, but just do it to the point where you know that you're feeling comfortable to get back to your best. So right now, you already said it, have that break, enjoy it. Don't have no pointless time with England. That probably won't even result in anything, like you said, successful, not even with a trophy, and then focus on the success that Liverpool need to get back next season.
It's true. The one, apart from maybe an injury, I don't see England picking up anything from the Euros. Let's face it. You know what I mean?
Said apart from an injury, I was thinking, wait, what?
Yeah, that's a
What
fucking
what you said.
Some fucking injuries, bruv. That's the only thing they're going to be picking up at the Euros. You know what I mean? So, like, honestly, I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be worried about it. Like, all these major tournaments, all that happens is they overhype one or two players and then they fail and then they batter them. That's what happens at every tournament with England. It's like, if you're an England player, you just hope that you're not the chosen one, because if it's you, it never ends well, innit? Like, never fucking ends well. That's why when they were doing on the Foden hype, I was like, let the kid develop, innit? Like, calm down a little bit. Like, we saw him in the Champions League final. You know what I mean? Like, he might as well have not played. It's one of them ones where you shouldn't be putting pressure on the kid going into a tournament. He has to start for England, and almost like England's hopes are with him, bro. They do it every 2 years. There's someone else that has to fucking put the country on their back, and they never do it.
I'm surprised it's not Jack Grealish, literally a player who plays for the team, where we have literally got to see evidentially that this season, that without him, they are not that good. Aston Villa, no offence, like good players and that, but they are not that good without Jack Grealish. You saw it in the points.
He had
Jack
them
Grealish
overperforming as soon as he
is
got
a
injured.
game winner. He's someone who could have had them competing for Europe till the last day. He's that good. He missed 3 months of the season, and that's a long time for a player with that stature and that impact. You're talking about a tournament here, mate. He's been able to build himself a little bit of game time, get him back into training. That should be the player that you're putting all the pressure on. And here's the thing. We know he can take it. He literally went down to the Championship. Could have joined all these big teams, Tottenham and all that. Could have took the easy way back to the Premier League. Stayed, got promoted. Oh, and by the way, kept the team up. Like, lad, that's someone right there that I want to see leading my line. The players like Harry Kane, like, yeah, he hasn't took them to a trophy, but they'd be a lot worse without him. It's a player who knows what to do basically by himself. You need them type of players in a tournament.
Yep.
Instead of, like
100%.
what you said, putting it on players like Phil Foden, who, even though on his best day can be amazing, it's about building that consistency and how often you get that best day. Jack Grealish gets that a lot.
And also, his best day is in a much weaker team. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones where, for me, someone on the previous stream was like, "Oh, Foden's on Grealish's level." Like, he's nowhere near. And they're at different stages of their career, so it's not no slight on Phil Foden. He's still a kid growing into himself. Jack Grealish very much knows who he is now and what he is. He's been down to the Championship. He's come up. Do you know what I mean? He's managed to build up experience, muscle memory of playing in big games, whether it's Championship playoffs or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? He's had the pressure of captaining his boyhood club. He's had all the pressures and all of these things that come with doing these things, yeah, that you can't put a price on those things.
Yep.
And the reason why he isn't looked as the talisman for England is because his face doesn't fit, unfortunately. That's just all it is. If Jack Grealish came through the rankings at like a more sexy football club like Mason Mount has. Mason Mount's a very good player, but he's not Jack Grealish, innit? If Jack Grealish came through Chelsea and done the same things he's doing at Aston Villa, maybe at Chelsea or at Man United, like the way they talk up Marcus Rashford, you'd think he's better than Jack Grealish. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't even clean Jack's boots. And it's one of them ones where he's playing for an Aston Villa and the media as well, like, are massive influence on who a lot of these football fans say are good players and who aren't. He doesn't get the media love of the other players because he's a bit of a bad boy. He goes out, he parties, do you know what I mean? He's getting flipping fines for crashing cars and, do you know what I mean, doing all these other things. And it's just like, it shows you how easily the media manipulate people's actual ideas, yeah, of football players. Like, even with Foden, bro, like, he's only started, I think, 50% of City's games this season, but the way they're talking about him, you'd think that he started every single fucking game, scored in every game, man of the match in every game, and this has really been his breakthrough season. But they're talking about him like he's already established and he's got the team on his back, and that's not the stage of the career he's in now, bro. He's still learning the game, bro, and the media are dangerous over here. And then when the players don't live up to the unrealistic expectations that has been set for them by the media, they get fucking battered, mate. It happens all the time.
Do you know what's a proper shame as well about that? Is that Aston Villa, I know, like, have they won any European Cups?
Yeah, they have in the past. Yeah, they have.
So I don't like this. So Aston Villa are a team. I think before they got relegated, they'd never been relegated from top flight football, because I know Everton fans like to, they always boast about how they've never been relegated and whatnot. That's how I know that information. That's literally how I know that information. So for that means that's a very traditional club. For that to be in the first division of English football for the 150 odd fucking years that it's been around, that's a very impressive thing. And I'm gonna say this as well: if that is the case with the media, it's a big shame, because if anything should be more glorified, that a player, the first time that club's ever went down, he stayed, he brought them back up. He became, even though like he always had the talent, he then became one of the best players in the Premier League. Right now, he is one of the best players in the Premier League, and he's not going to be glorified for it. That, for me, is a proper shame, lad, because that Aston Villa is a club with tradition. Whether you like them or you don't, you know, sorry to any Birmingham fans who are in here, but listen, mate, that's a club with tradition. They won trophies before.
Massive football
they've
club.
fucking been in the Premier League for a long, long time. I'd say they're bigger than Spurs. Not a shot at Spurs, not a shot at Spurs.
No, bro, they are.
Aston
Villa
Spurs
and Nottingham Forest, yeah, two clubs, yeah, that obviously went down and that, but bruv, they've got European pedigree and they've got history in it. They've got European titles. Like, they're arguably up there with the biggest clubs in this country based on what they've done in Europe and what they've done maybe in the last 50 odd years or something like that, bro. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's facts only, man, and they don't get the respect they deserve now because they're not media darlings, bro. And that's just what it is. And Liverpool were media darlings for a while. And then as soon as Liverpool started winning things, now it's not cool to like Liverpool no more. That's how it was. It was the same with Man United. When Man United were on top, the media fucking hated us. Do you know what I mean? And now they're sucking off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that because United are shit. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know that your team are shit when the media like you. You know that. You know it, bro. Because they fucking hated United. They hated United. When United were winning, bruv, they couldn't wait to discredit United. They couldn't wait. Now, all of a sudden, Solskjaer had hardly any sleep. And then after the final, when he travelled home with the players and then he was straight back to work. Who gives a fuck? No one cares, bruv. He's shit. He needs to resign. Nobody cares what he's done. Like, man don't want you to paint pretty pictures of Solskjaer. He's a loser. To call it what it is, innit?
No, he's a load of dog shite now.
He needs to walk the fucking plank. That's what he needs to do.
He needs to be pushed off the fucking plank. He needs to be.
But if he's not going to be pushed, he should walk.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
No, 100. He should use the 2 legs that his mama gave him. Fucking turn his. Where's he from?
Norway. Use the one leg he stuck
he's
out
Norwegian
in
ass around. He needs to turn his fucking Norwegian ass around and just go from the back ass of wherever he came from. Because, lad, he's not wanted at Manchester United unless you are me. Unless you are me, then I want him to stay. Because I'll tell you now, mate, from my perspective, he's doing a great job. Listen, you know, I'm going to be the promoter that tries to keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the job. This is a manager, Rants, and in case you didn't know this is a manager that has just got you to a European final. Yes, Europa League granted, but still a European final. You can't go against that. That's a great achievement. This is a manager that got you second in the league. No one beats Man City. Unless you're Liverpool last season, but no one beats Man City otherwise. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's being given that much money to spend. Only like 250 million. Maybe 300. That's not that much. I wipe my ass with that much, though. Do you think that's that much money? Come on, Rants. Let's be honest with ourselves. He's done a marvellous job. 5-year contract. The way he never even laughed at any of that. Rants' smile went smaller and smaller as I continued talking. Did you notice that, chat?
Well, listen, yeah.
His smile, at first he found it funny. I like to mock it, right, because I know it makes some people... Rants' smile went from here, like Cat in the Hat, to there, mate.
Nah, bro, like honestly, bro, I hate that guy, bro. I hate that guy, bro. I can't find anything.
Hate him.
I can't find anything funny or anything about Solskjaer, bro. Like, it hurts me deeply, bro.
He's offended you. He's offended
you. Bro, he offends everything that the club stands for, bro. Like, this is the same guy that came out saying trophies are for egos and then went and lost the final, didn't make a substitution for 100 minutes of football, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And then when he was asked...
And it was Fred.
He tried... Bruv, exactly. And then, bruv, he took off Mason Greenwood. By the way.
He
was our best player, and he took him off.
I said this in the watch along. Like, people were talking about Scott McTominay in me chat, and don't get me wrong, I thought he's done all right. But if you talk about impact and what was United's number one problem in that final, they couldn't break Villarreal down. There wasn't even the goal. The goal was just a lucky little scuffle that came off a poor shot from Rashford.
It was exactly, and other than that, Cavani never really looked like
Greenwood was
the only player that scored was Mason. Yep, 100%.
He was the only one putting the balls in the box, even when he was just trying things. That's what. Do you know when Liverpool was shit? I liked Curtis Jones for the simple fact he was trying things in a team of players that was trying fuck all. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're not going to play well, you need them individual moments of brilliance. And I said this months ago, and I got crucified for it because we lost a few days later in the FA Cup. But I don't give a fuck, mate. I still stand by it. It's moments of brilliance for United. And I'm not saying this point to you. I'm saying this to people who had a go at me, because that's all it is. It's being proven. You know, a good solid manager, Thomas Tuchel, has proven this with Frank Lampard. That's the perfect case study. You've literally got it in the same season. The second that one leaves, it gives you the boost somehow. And if you have a good coach, he's the one that can get you over the line. Good players can get you far for sure. They can get you to a final. But a manager like Tuchel will get you over the final. And that's why Chelsea are Champions League winners and Man United are not Europa League winners. Do you get what I mean?
100%. The manager made the difference there. Do you know what I mean? So, trust me. And as for this comment, listen, Mason Mount is a player I like and I rate. However, Jack Grealish is a match winner all by himself. He is a special footballer. Mason Mount is a very, very good footballer. Let's not get me wrong. But you see Jack Grealish, he's the kind of player that in that cup final, he'll win the game for you. He'll pick up the ball. He'll beat 3 players. And he'll score the goal or he'll put it on the plate for someone else. People need to stop comparing Mavericks, and match winners like Jack Grealish to other industrious players that are very good also, bro. Like, there's different tiers of footballers and there's different styles of footballers, innit? I was having this same conversation earlier with the likes of, like, the difference between a Phil Foden. Phil Foden is an amazing footballer, a great talent playing in a great team. but you don't look at Phil Foden and say, "Oh, match winner," because he's not. Because that's not the style of footballer he is. He's a great player in a great team, innit? But he's not a match winner. Wayne Rooney was a match winner at that age. Do you know what I'm saying? Rooney would pick up the ball, skin three people, slap it in off the crossbar. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's different types of players. They want him to be Wayne Rooney. He's not going to be Wayne Rooney. Gerrard was a match winner.
Yeah, like maybe not as much as that age is what I was going to say, but Gerrard is the type of player where he was a match winner. Like, he would score fucking bangers. And that is
he was a match winner, bro. Remember his brace against West Ham? I think it was the FA Cup.
2006?
You remember? Steven Gerrard. Bro?
Lad, that was my hero. Don't talk to me about Steven Gerrard. He's my dad. You're mad. Honestly, like, if I met Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Steven Gerrard in the same room, I'm going to Steven Gerrard first, and you think I'm chatting shit.
Honestly, yeah.
He's me, but well better. But, like, he makes me believe I can do shit with my life. Yeah. He scored in a Champions League final against AC Milan. He literally beat them by himself. And we're not talking about ordinary AC Milan who Man United beat in the Europa League. We're talking about one of the greatest starting 11s this fucking world has ever seen. Players like fucking Kaká, Ball and Crespo. Absolute fucking legends of the game that will just rip you a nut. Like, Jamie Carragher was playing in that game. We saw when we were 3 goals down. Carragher is not someone who likes to play against that type of team. But Steven Gerrard is just that player, man, where he can drag you out of it. But I get what you mean about the Jack Grealish point. I'm not going to try and lean into a Steven Gerrard thing. But he's a match winner. Mason Mount. What I like about Mason Mount is he's shown he can be a match winner. But in terms of ability, he's not there with Jack Grealish. What he is there with, though, is the leadership. And what he can do, he does very, very well. And it's very consistent.
He's a very good player. He's a player I rate. Do you know what I'm saying? Agreed. He's a player that I rate. But there's levels to football, bruv. And that's why people need to stop comparing apples and oranges, bruv. And fucking apples and pears, mate. Because that's what they're doing when you're comparing someone like Jack Grealish, an absolute maverick, to players like Mason Mount.
It's because he's won the Champions League, though, isn't it? He's won trophies. He's got trophies to back up.
Yeah, but bro, when you play for Chelsea,
deserves to be in the conversation.
When you play for Chelsea, you're gonna win fucking trophies.
But he's done this at all of his clubs, though. He played boss at Derby. He can play.
I hear all of that. I hear all of that.
Well under Lampard, who was a load of dog shite.
But again, Derby's a championship, but Jack Grealish shit all over that league. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like it. So it is what it is, bro. If Jack was playing at these top clubs, he would have all these trophies, bro. Don't ever get it twisted. Like, Raheem Sterling's got all the trophies, all the trophies, that Jack don't have, and he's not even a tenth of the player. So I don't like the trophy.
But I agree, and that way
because they're not playing tennis. This ain't Wimbledon. It's football.
Absolutely, 100%. But the one thing that I will say is the impact on them trophies. Mason Mount got a great assist in the game against Manchester City, and you've got to talk about outside of that, the build-up in them games, the Real Madrid games where he put in a very sound performance and stuff like that. Like, he's a leader at a young age, and he's
a brilliant player, man.
And I know that's not. I know you're agreeing with me when you say that he's a brilliant player. All I'm saying, when it comes to the conversation of Jack Grealish and Mount, I can understand why people maybe would throw him in there just based on the impact that he has in big games. Do you get what I mean?
I'm comparing Mount to Gerrard now, apparently. I haven't seen this because I'm not really...
All right, relax yourselves, you silly fucking people. Relax yourselves. Have you saw... Watch Steven Gerrard... Literally, did you hear the conversation we were having like 30 seconds ago? Like, scoring absolute worldies in finals by himself. He won a team. Did you see the starting 11 that we went with against AC Milan? Did you see the starting 11? Get on, mate. The starting Steven Gerrard fucking carried us out of that game. Yeah. Don't talk about Mason Mount. That's so offensive. I'm not even going to acknowledge that anymore. That's so ridiculous. I'm just going to sip my water.
It's mad, bro. Like, honestly, it's one of them ones, and that's what I mean about certain footballers, and that's why I say, people always take overrated and all these other things as an insult to players, but bro, like, stop comparing apples and fucking oranges, bro. Like, that's what people keep doing. Do you know what I mean? When you look at Foden, when you look at Mount, when you look at Grealish, they're literally 3 completely different footballers. They have completely different strengths, completely different weaknesses. Do you know what I mean? They're all very good footballers, bro. They're all very good. Stop comparing them. You don't need to, innit? There's no need. In terms of talisman, in terms of Maverick, the guy that's gonna win the fucking football match for you on his Todd, it was Steven Gerrard. Do you know what I mean? I believe Grealish has got that touch of like the Eden Hazards about him,
Yeah.
the way he carries the ball, goes past people, creates space that isn't there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like them kind of players that can play in between the lines with the ball at their feet are different to like someone saying, "Oh, Mount played the pass to Kai Havertz." It was a good pass, but it wasn't a fucking difficult one. He still had to make it, but it wasn't a difficult pass. Do you know what I'm saying? Like just because man got an assist in the final, that doesn't mean that my man is Steven Gerrard, bruv. He's not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the ball was bouncing to the edge of the box and you wanted to choose one player to run onto that fucking thing in a cup final, you put your house on Steven Gerrard fucking just taking the whole net off. Do you know what I mean? And that's just what it is, isn't it? And that's the problem with England. This is the problem with English fans, English media. These guys love to fucking blow things out of proportion. I remember when Jack Wilshere come through and they were saying Jack Wilshere to Barca and Pep said, I got 10 of those in fucking in the academy. You lot sit the fuck down. Now, we do it all the time.
Yeah, we get
do
an
it all the
half-decent
time.
player, he shows a little bit of skill, and then we jump on the heavens high horses. Like, here's the thing about Mason Mount, I've always rated him. But there was people months ago who weren't even putting him above players like Maddison, for example. And whether you believe he is or isn't, that's fine. But he weren't in the conversation a few months ago. So now that he's had a few months where he stood out, and Maddison has had a few months where he's been injured, it's easy now to put him above Mason Mount, Maddison, because it fits the agenda.
It's recency bias, though, isn't it?
That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. Like, even I can have recency bias from time to time. I'm sure we all can. But it's just about realising and being open to all arguments about it, you know what I mean? And, you know, you've just said it's on compare plays that just shouldn't be compared, quite frankly.
Yeah.
They're all good for their own reasons, and it's just... Like, Mason Mount, he's done a quality job, but so is Jack Grealish.
But that's the same with the Foden situation, bro. It's like, literally, Jadon Sancho has done it for 3 consecutive years in the Bundesliga. Yeah, he got one injury, was out for a little while, and then there was talk of him not making the Euro squad. I'm like, have you forgotten what this guy's done for the last 2.5 years, 2.5 seasons? Yeah. No, the guy's breaking records in Germany, and there was actually talk of him not going. Do you know what I mean? And then man are saying that in the same time, people are saying Foden has to start. Like, has to start. But last season, man wasn't starting for Man City, and all of a sudden he has to start for England now. But Jadon's been starting for Dortmund for 3 seasons. Bent's Pulisic, who's now at Chelsea, just won a Champions League, but he's not going to go to the tournament.
Do you want to tell you what I fear the most, though? Here's the thing that I don't like. I don't like the fact we're talking about Foden, we're talking about Mount, we're talking about Grealish, we're talking about, you know, all these players who can play in these positions, and I still don't think, I still think Sterling and Rashford are going to play ahead of them.
So
and
do
this
I,
is the thing
bro.
that pisses me off. We're talking about
I.
these players, and no matter who plays, whether it's Jack Grealish, Mason Mount, they're going to do a sound job. Do you know what I mean? Regardless who your preference is. But it's still going to be Rashford and Sterling. They're going to be on the wings. Sterling's going to be doing all this in and behind. You know what I mean? Rashford's going to be there on the sidelines, getting his scrans and that. And listen, that's bosh. Great for him. But it's just not what we need in a European competition where we want to win trophies. We need our best players, like the player behind you who can score top bins.
Bruv, the thing is, Sterling stunk up the Champions League final. Rashford stunk up the Europa League final.
They're not even big game players.
Bruv, they shouldn't even be on the plane. Like, that's how bad it is. And they'll probably both start, and if not both of them, one of them starting. I can't see an England squad without one of them starting.
Oh no, that's a certainty. There's 3 guarantees in life. You're born, you die, and Sterling or Rashford will most certainly start in this Euros. No doubt about it, my mate. Just based on merit, based on credit in the bank, that's enough. That's enough for Gareth Southgate. Yeah, he plays for United. Yeah, he plays for City. Got to take them.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the unfortunate thing that we have to deal with, with Southgate. Do you know what I mean? Like, man said Rashford needs time off. He does. But he also needs a lot of
He's
other
not even
things.
fit. So
exactly.
Therefore, that's another reason, right? And I understand no footballer's ever 100%. But, like, if he's literally coming out in the last game of the season saying, I am not fit, and you as a manager take the conscious decision of ignoring that and still bringing him on the plane, that's your fault. You're mad. You're crazy. You're insane, as a matter of fact, because you're coming up against some very strong sides in this competition. If you want to take it seriously, use your best players that have been in form, not players that have came out in an interview clearly looking broken and saying they're feeling broken. That's not who I want starting. Not a chance.
Well, there you go, bruv. Do you know what I mean? The fact that he's come out after that loss and said that he's not fit, he's still gonna fucking go. Leave him at home, bruv. Like, that should be making your life easier, because really he shouldn't be there. Between him and Sterling, neither of them should go. They will go. And that's the funny thing. Southgate, when he first came in, said that he was gonna pick the team on merit, unlike previous times. But again, with the media, a lot of these players now, yeah, they have too much influence off the pitch now, to the point where it's like, it's not even about football no more. Gary Neville said that Marcus Rashford's in the team of the year because of what he's done off the pitch. You man saw that, right? On Sky Sports.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about? Do you know what I mean? And that's...
We were saying we weren't above Salah. Like, Salah weren't in the team, but Rashford was, and Salah scored more goals. And so it was literally purely based on the merit of what he's done off the pitch, which is just mad. Like, I think it's crazy, bro. Honestly, I really, really do. Like, these type of players being able to get the call up. I think, for example, do you know Sterling? I don't think he's going to be at City either.
By the end of next season. No, he won't. Next season might be his last season. I can't see him being at Manchester City past next season. Can't see it. Bruv, they want Jack Grealish. They want Jack Grealish bad, innit, from what I'm hearing. And brother, if they end up with Grealish and Kane,
okay, and that in itself should say mad to you, by Rants, like, sorry to interrupt you, but that in itself should really, really say, if Pep Guardiola, and I'm just offering you this, right, audience, just in case you're pro Gareth Southgate, Pep Guardiola and Gareth Southgate, right? So if you've got Gareth Southgate, who's going to start Sterling over Grealish, which, let's be honest, he's most likely going to do that. I am very, very confident that he is going to do that, honestly. Or Rashford. But let's say Sterling in this case. And then you've got Pep Guardiola, who wants to let go of Sterling. And that's starting to show, because when Pep Guardiola starts to drop a player, that's really the beginning of the end for them, essentially. We saw it with Aguero. It's now going to happen with Sterling. Sterling's he's done very well in the time that he's there. But Pep's just said it in the interview at Rio. You've got to change up. He's got that type of mentality. You can't just hold on to players because of what they've done. And he's very, very right. So if you've got Pep Guardiola...
You get stale, man.
Gareth Southgate. And Gareth Southgate's the one picking Sterling. But then you've got Pep Guardiola who wants Jack Grealish instead of Sterling. I'm sorry, there's only... That's... If I can just put it that way, that should make all the sense in the world of who you should choose. And who's the better player.
Absolute facts, bro. Do you know what I mean? And it gets stale. We saw it at Tottenham. Like, it doesn't matter what you've done. Do you know what I mean? It comes to a point where you have to start bringing in hungrier, better players to evolve the team, innit? This comment here, I never knew he'd done an interview with Obama, bruv. I just saw an Obama comment saying, like, Rashford's further ahead than where I was when I was 23 years old or something. I didn't know that he'd done an interview with him, but you see when man said he needs a rest and that, bruv, he needs more than a rest, bro. He needs to focus on football and stop all this bullshit if man's done that. Because literally, I never rated him before, but the more of this he's doing, the worse he seems to be playing, innit? And some people might say that, right, it's not linked, and that it might not be linked, bruv. But the fact is, when you're doing all this extracurricular shit, that nobody really gives a shit about unless you're playing well, it's long, bruv. Like, it's super long. Like I've said a million times, bro. I just want footballers, to first and foremost be good at football, and then all the other stuff they do after that, then you get me. Like, I can make allowances. I can make allowances for anything when players are playing well, bro. Like, I don't mind, innit? Like, it's one of them ones, like, man watched The Last Dance and that. Dennis Rodman was going out partying with prostitutes and that. It's not a problem when you're playing well, bruv. When it starts to affect your performance, then man need to have conversations about it. That. And it's like, bruv, you just lost the major final, and literally, less than a week later, man's doing all this. Like, nah, you're doing way too much, bro. Yeah. Way too much, man. Literally, you should be doing extras on the training ground right fucking now, bruv. Like that. So you don't have another season like last season. Yeah. That's what you should really be doing, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. That's why I feel a disconnect with modern day football for that reason, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? I remember, like, a lot of the ex-United players even said when Eric Cantona came in, and Andy Cole said this to me. he was like, he was just like, you know, when you go to certain clubs and there's certain players that just do certain things in it,
Yeah,
like it just becomes normal. A lot of the foreign players would do it. They're doing extras after training and stuff, practicing free kicks, practicing penalties. A lot of these man, yeah, these man look like they go training, kick ball with their friends, and then go home. And then they're sitting on social media and playing fucking Fortnite. A
yeah.
lot of these young players don't look like they do any extras, bro, because their fundamentals are so fucking poor. These men look like they just run on treadmills, kick ball, and go home in it. There's other players like Mason Mount. You can tell he does a bit extra because he's got a bit about him. You can see it. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? The likes of the Grealishes, but all these other guys, I'm just like,
The
you're
ones who are
playing out.
smashing
You're
it, the ones
yeah,
who are smashing it, like Mason Mount, Phil Foden,
yeah.
they're
Like even
the
when you
players
look
who
at
dedicate their time.
fucking Trent, it's like, bro, like, what do you think? Man, accidentally was putting free kicks in the top corner. Or do you reckon that maybe he practiced them a little bit?
A little bit more than other people. I know, yeah,
A
exactly.
little bit, like, do
Just,
you know what I
a few
mean?
more hours in the park, not because he felt like he had to, but because he fucking loved it. Yeah, you're right, lad.
That's what I
It's
mean.
like
When I
you got
see
that
some of these
passion.
guys, it's just like, bruv, you've been playing shit for more than a whole season.
Yeah,
And I'm not seeing no improvement. I'm not seeing no development. And people could talk about coaching till the cows come home, yeah. But how much fucking responsibility, yeah, are you gonna take for yourself? And say, you know what, I'm not playing well. I need to improve on this, bro. Like, focus on fucking football, bruv. You know, like that. You can do all this other bullshit, yeah. You can do all this other bullshit when you're done, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean? Or at least, like, read the room, innit? Read the room a little
read the
bit
room.
and do it when you're playing well, bruv. I beg you. Do you know what I'm saying? Do it when you're
Hmm.
playing well, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't mind people having other hobbies and interests. I wouldn't be upset if man was like, all right, cool, I'm not playing football no more. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. But all this social media activity and shit, it's just like, bruv, what are you? Are you a footballer or are
It's
you a
not
YouTuber,
necessary,
blood?
lad.
Are you a
It's not
YouTuber?
necessary.
Are you a fucking, what are you? Are you a politician? What the fuck are you,
Yeah,
bruv?
it's not necessary. It's really not necessary. And people, like people involve social media too much in their life nowadays. Like even I do it. Like I sometimes realize in my life, like
Bruv, man
shit,
said
I'm on this
Barack
phone way too much.
Obama, bro. Like,
No,
you're an
like this,
English footballer. That's a
it's all these
former
things.
president of the United States. Why is that relevant now?
But you don't need to bring that up though. This is what I don't like. That can be a thing for you. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if he says like honestly mate, you're smashing it, take that home with you. You know what I mean? Like fucking hell, the former president of the United States just said that I'm smashing it. Fucking hell, that's like a memory. That's something I can tell people. Whereas when you like what you say, when you're putting it out there and you're making it so everyone can see it, this is what I don't like. People feel like you've got to document your whole life now. Whereas even when I was growing up, I'm only young, but even when I was growing up, it just weren't the case. It really was not the case. It was only until everyone got one of these, an iPhone, where you know it's got a camera and you've got to be there. And just because if you've got a good story, it means your life's good. You know what I mean? Because it's only about what other people think of you that really matters to most people who are on the internet nowadays. Let's just be real with ourselves. And it's the same with footballers. They look for this satisfaction. A lot of them don't even use their social media accounts. That's the ones that I don't mind. But the ones with these PR teams, it's not helping them. It's not doing them
But
no
it's not
favours.
helping it. But this is my thing, bro. My thing is you're not helping these players, bro. And even though you could tell that he's not in control of most of it, but it's like you're not helping him, bro. I know when I was 23 years old, I didn't want nothing to do with any of this, bro. I'm glad I got to grow up here in an era where no one can dig up old tweets because when I was growing up, there was no Twitter. Do you know what I mean? There was none of these things, bro. So, man, I lived my life properly. I mean, I made the mistakes I needed to make here in private. Now everything these men are doing is all over the fucking internet, bruv. Like, and it's just like, bro, like no 23-year-old in their right mind really wants this, bro. Like, this is someone else's dream, bro. Like, he can't want this, blood. He
Yeah.
can't want this, bro. Like, this bro wants to go on holiday with his friends, go partying, meet girls and that. That's what man want to do at 23. Man don't want to be talking to the fucking Obama, bruv. Like, respectfully. At 23 years old, you think I would have wanted to speak to fucking Bill Clinton or them, man? I don't want to speak to these men. You know what
No
that?
one gives two shiny shites.
No, man, don't want to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that. 23 years old, bro. Like, you're not even 23 yet. So, you know what I mean? You can imagine the last thing you want to do is talk to them kind of people, bruv. You want to hang out with your fucking mates.
If I saw Barack Obama, I'd say Saturn, and I'd be like Saturn and Barack, and then just Dusty.
And
Because
there's
to
a
be honest with
fucking-
you, lads, it's not one of them things where like I need to really worry about chilling and having a full on chat with Barack Obama. He's not going to tell me all mad secrets about that I want to know that he might know. So I don't really want to speak to him. I don't want to congratulate. If you want to give me one, nice one, lad. But it's one of them things. I'm not desiring it in any way, shape or form. And that's the way it is nowadays. People, even normal people, lad, just need social media too much, and it's so consumed in everyone's life. And I always think this, like, I'm young and I'm stupid, so I know, like, I'm going to make mistakes. But this is, like, the worst era where a young man like myself can make a mistake because you're crucified for it. And it's always there. And it's like, if everybody's mistakes were there for everyone to see, we'd all think of each other differently. Do you know what I mean? We'd all think of each other different because no one's perfect, but we paint this picture that we've all got to be perfect, we've all got to act a certain way. We're all fucking different, man. If there's 7 billion people, we're not all going to be the same. We're really, really not. And it's going a bit of a chat beyond football, but that's just the way it is. And people just don't have a clue how to fucking treat others, but more so, you give these footballers, a platform. They don't know how to handle it because they haven't been taught about how to handle it. So
yeah,
when
but
you make a
bro, at
mistake,
23, how the fuck do you handle it? You don't, innit? Because you don't want that shit. It's not natural for a 23-year-old to have all this thrust upon them. And then on top of that, man's not playing well. So he's going to get hammered for it as well, bro. Read the fucking room and protect him, innit? If you really care about him, as his PR team, if you really care about him, read the room and say, you know what? He's been playing shit for a minute. He's allegedly injured. Do you know what I'm saying? Man just lost a cup final. Maybe we should withhold all this for a little while until people calm down. He was only getting racially abused the other day, and then you're gonna put this out here now, like, bruv. Literally, these man's fucking keyboards are still hot, bro.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why man's getting pammed. These men that are looking after him don't care about him, because if they did, they'd fucking take him away from the limelight for a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what they would do. And that's why it gets to the point where you just can't feel sorry for man, bro. Like, you can't.
You've got to milk it. They have got to milk it. They've got to, these situations that Rashford, for example, when he does the nice things, you've got to milk that because the club's playing shit. What's one of the good things that we can really, really talk about at the moment? Oh, well, everything that he's doing. And then boom, it's not as bad no more, and we don't need to write bad stories. And even like, do you know when I see? Do you know Rashford? Does he actually control his account? So do you know when he put out that tweet the other day?
No.
Do you know when he put out? Do you know that tweet the other day though about the racist messages?
Yeah.
Was that him?
Brother, come on. No, of course it wasn't, bro. Do you honestly
So this
think
is
that
what I
straight
mean.
after a football match, he's sitting in the dressing room like this, scrolling through Twitter and
This is
going
what I mean.
through my man's accounts to find out he's a teacher? Of course he had.
Why are they promoting that as if to say, oh, this is Rashford's feelings and this is this and this is that? That's what I don't like, because it's not authentic. And even if a footballer doesn't want to share his whole life, don't then share a life that isn't true.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? No,
you're spot on. I hear that. And that's why I say they're not protecting him, bro. They're not protecting him. If he goes and stinks the place up at the Euros, then gets bashed again. Do you know what I mean?
He will be shit at the Euros. The only way Rashford can really come out of the Euros and have a positive way is if he scores a big goal in a big game. He's not going to be playing well. He's not going to be a game changer. Yeah. But if he can get on the end of a scuffle or something like this, then maybe it can be a positive outlook. But I can tell you now, he is not going to play well if that Euros begins and he's starting each and every game. Just can't happen.
And the thing is, when you look at Pep Guardiola, I saw the interview we had with Rio Ferdinand in it on BT Sport. You would have seen it. And he said about Phil Foden, he said, listen, everything with Phil is football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He loves his football. And as long as everything in his life is football, obviously he's got a child, but he said, as long as everything's football and his head's in there, then he could be whatever he wants, innit? And I feel like too many of these young footballers, unfortunately, the head ain't in football, bruv. The head ain't in football no more, bro. And you're seeing it in the performances.
Yeah.
You're seeing it in the performances, bro. Do you know what I mean?
But the thing is, though, a lot of these balls, like, for example, Rashford, when he was 18 or however old he was when he really fit, was it 16 or 17, actually, when he first broke onto the scene? Around there and thereabouts. When he gets rushed onto the scene, everyone knows him straight away. And he becomes this instant success, this superstar, if you will. And I just think of it as one of them things where he is at an age, like I'm at an age right now, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in even a year's time, let alone 5 or 10 years time. I don't even want to be thinking about that lad, because I'm always changing every day, especially in this pit. Like, we're all changing, but when you're a growing man, that's just the way it is. And then you expect, or we expect, or maybe he expects of himself to be this same superstar that he was rushed into being when he was, 17, 18? So...
Yeah.
You're supposed to live a life. Because if everyone lived by this way, we'd be fucked. You're supposed to live a life that you was living when you were 17, 18, when you didn't even have a fucking clue, when you were getting misguided by other people. And that's the way you're supposed to be now. He can't just go back and live this normal life he's known forever. At least that's the way he's going to feel. And that's because of what you've just said about the misdirection of the PR and the way he's been, and you know, everything that's leading into it. And maybe it's shown right now. Maybe Rashford never plays. Maybe Rashford doesn't become this world-class footballer. Maybe this
but brother, he was never going to, though. That's what I've been saying from the beginning, James. And you know what it is? But like what he said, because he's so he's far in too deep now. People expect him to just become CR7, but bro, like, that was never his ceiling. But because of everything around him, it's built an illusion of a much bigger and better footballer than he has the potential to be. So now everyone's gonna look at everything now as he's failing. But really, this is just his level, and it's always been his level. But people have painted a picture of him, that he was meant to be something greater on the pitch than he was ever meant to be, bro. Like, what Mason Greenwood is right now, he's never been that. And people, when he broke through, they made him out like he was going to be the Mason. Like, I heard Mason Greenwood's name throughout the United youth team for years. Like, you know, there's players that are coming through. The same would have been with Trent. You just know they're destined to make it.
Trent was being talked about for years.
When Rashford got his debut under Louis van Gaal, I'd never heard of him. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Obviously, I'd heard his name, but when I say I'd never heard of him, he wasn't making the noise that Ravel was making. He wasn't making the noise that Pogba was making. Do you know what I mean? Or even Jesse Lingard, who went on loan and done some things before he came back. Like, he wasn't making bare noise in the resis. He was just another one of those players that was just there. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and the fact that he came through, he took his chance, and then everyone thought, he's gonna be like one of the class of '92, innit?
That's what I was going to ask. So do you think
people forget
early chance and the first few games, do you think that kind of had like the Ollie effect? So because Ollie had a good few first games, they then decided, you know what, we've got something to work with here, let's just go all in. Do you think they done that with Rashford? Like,
100%, bro. It's just like, remember, he scored on every debut he had as well. He had a mad little whirlwind.
Europa League debut.
Europa League debut, England debut.
Yep.
Bruv, and everyone was like, oh my God, like...
he's mad.
That's what it was.
He's heavy.
That's what it was. Like, literally, every star literally aligned for him, at precise moment. And that had people thinking he was Mason Greenwood. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it was. Whereas when you look at Mason play, just with the eyes, you can see that Mason's on a different level. Do you know what I mean? As a footballer. Do you know what I mean? I might question his temperament. Maybe he hasn't got the same temperament as Rashford. Whereas Rashford's got this belief in himself, like you can see it's there. Even when he's playing shit, he still tries things. Whereas with Mason looks a bit more shy, a bit more reserved, and looks like he could kind of go missing at times, innit? But that might come with age, innit? You can't teach temperament. But it's one of them ones where literally he was just bagging goals. Look, man's comparing him to Adnan Januzaj. And that's what I mean. Like, bro, like, honestly, he came through at the right time. His stars aligned, but he hasn't kicked on from that.
Yeah. He
hasn't kicked, and he's not going to. You know, like, and that's what it is. But because of everything off the pitch now, Gary Neville's putting man into team of the seasons because of what he's doing with Boris Johnson. Like, bruv, like, the whole thing now, the actual brand is bigger than the player now. And it got to a point in David Beckham's career, where the brand became bigger than the player, and Sir Alex Ferguson sold him.
It's a good example.
Do you know what I'm saying? And David Beckham was 10 times the player.
He was still fucking quality. Do you know what I mean?
Do you see what I mean? But when man's doing chats with Barack Obama and that, and you're stinking out cup finals, the maths ain't mathing right now, bruv. You should literally be chilling in your family home, logged out of all your socials, bruv, cheesing. And being in the back garden, kicking the ball against the wall. That's what you should really be doing. That's what man should really be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of how it is, unfortunately. So
It's a shame,
it's
man.
like people have built like an image of him. That's not fair on him because he was never that level. But now there's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah.
And then you know what they do in this country? They build you up, and then bruv, the fall is a mad thing.
Ruthless. It's ruthless.
Ruthless, bro. They tried to destroy Wayne Rooney. They've done the same thing with David Beckham, and they'll continue to do it with their players, bro. And now he's on the receiving end of racial abuse that he wasn't getting 2 seasons ago. Do you know what I mean? Because people are just growing fed up now, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? We'll target that," and it's not right. But this is the telltale sign for me, yeah, that people have just had enough when people start racially abusing him, because he was the one black player that wasn't getting it because he had the Manchester born and bred home thing. He wasn't getting the racials. Same like Mason. Mason ain't getting the racials at the moment. Do you know what I'm saying? But Martial was getting it, but Pogba was getting it. But them, man, because they were Manc, they were seen as nice, cool. They're one of us. But now when man are turning on man and abusing him, now that's the streets saying, you know what? Fuck this born and bred shit. It's not enough no more. And that's what it is, bro. And it's sad to see, bro. Because for me, I feel like I've seen the best of him now.
He's at his peak.
Yeah, I feel like everything here on is gonna be a downgrade, bro.
It's all
goal-wise,
downhill because he started at high. It was only downhill. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I think that literally. Yeah, I think he started like this, and then he's dropped, and I think that the rest of man's career is just gonna be here now.
Because here's the thing about Rashford as well. Like, you talk about his level. His level is maybe, and people can say that I'm being disrespectful all you want, but when you get to a certain point, you can't just be playing Champions League football because you've done it at one point. You will, your level will be found at some stage. And when you talk about a player like Rashford, you're probably looking at his level maybe for a team that's competing for the Champions League spot. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, like, yeah, you're right.
It, like a Europa League round there. And he could have ended up being like, I'm trying to be... Do you know, like, the way... Completely different players, but I mean in the way that they look. Do you know, like a Peter Crouch? Very
no, you're right.
Never had much, like, ability and stuff like this, but he could have ended up having that type of career, whereas now...
Peter Crouch had a better first touch, mate. You know them ones. Peter Crouch Peter Crouch was scoring bicycle kicks, bro.
He was weird. For how big he was weird, and you've got to give him credit for how good he was.
Man.
Mate,
But
baller.
You're right. That's the level of footballer, yeah, for me, that he is, innit? Know what I mean? That literally, I wouldn't even say that. Like, I mean, closer to a Theo Walcott for me. Do you know what I'm saying? Then a thing, because man say, oh, like West Ham like caliber, but where would he play for West Ham? Because bruv, Jesse's doing bits for West Ham right now, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like when man looks at it right now, in terms of like actual ability, bruv.
Fornals is outplaying Rashford for a long time as well. Fornals, who plays for West Ham at the moment, in the same position, I believe. So I don't think that'd be a worry at all.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, man's massively overrated. When man actually deep it, yeah, if he wasn't from Manchester and playing for Manchester United and he was playing at another team in the league, man, you expect to see him at Newcastle or something. Like,
do you know, right, yeah, here's the perfect example or case study, if you will. Trent. People, like, if there's people who think that we just jump on his high horse because he's Scouse, maybe that's true, but he's luckily proved us right because he's actually very good. But then you've got a John Flanagan. Do you remember John Flanagan? Yes. So, a player who was, because he was Scouse, he was loved just as much as Trent was. And when he was playing well, we backed that. Where is he now, though? Kind of got caught out, didn't he? You know what I mean? He went to... Don't get me wrong, things happened as well. But still, the point still stands in that quality didn't get him over the line because it simply weren't there. So just because he had a good start... doesn't mean that's going to be sustained for the remainder of his career. That's just not the way it always works.
Bro, you man had, what's his name? Obviously, injuries done him, Neil Mellor and that. But remember, Neil Mellor and that, like all these guys, they thought was going to be the next this and the next that. And it never worked out, bro. And when you play for a big club, unfortunately, same like when you're Brazilian, everyone thinks the next good striker.
Yeah, John Flanagan was the Scouse Cafu. Someone just said in the chat, he was the Scouse Cafu.
You see what I mean, bro? Like honestly, if you're Brazilian, you're the next R9, bruv, and then you turn out to be Vinicius, bruv. You know what I mean? That's what happens. But if you turn out to be Alexandra Pato and that, bruv. Like it happens. Bruv, it's true, James, bruv. Am I lying though?
He said Vinicius and then Pato.
But it's true. Vinicius, yeah. Alex Pato, yeah. Like fucking Luis Fabiano at one point, yeah. Like there's bare Brazilian strikers that were coming through that were getting compared to fucking R9 all willy-nilly, bro. And I'm sure I missed some as well.
Oh, you would have, Defo.
Bare of them
Gabriel Jesus was there and there about showing a beard. He's getting compared to the next big thing when he
bare man were getting compared.
Oh, I'm crying.
Bare man were getting compared to R9, bro. And out of all these Brazilians that came through, Neymar's the only one that stood the test of time. All the other flair Brazilian players that have come through have fallen by the wayside, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And all of them got compared to someone. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of guys playing in Brazil, like the Gansos and that, where man were like, yeah, the next Rivaldo. Man, they might even make it to Europe, bruv.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's still in Brazil. Like, do you know what I mean? After all the hype. And this is exactly what it is, bro. When you're from a certain thing, in Portugal, there's going to be loads of men, they're going to say, this is the next CR7.
Ronaldo.
Yeah. Like, literally, everyone was the next Luis Figo, yeah? Until Cristiano came through, blood. Do you know what I mean? Quaresma was meant to be the next Luis Figo. It didn't quite work out. Do you know what I mean? Joe was another Brazilian striker. Remember, he ended up at Man City. He might be a bit too young.
Wait, Quaresma's supposed to be better than Ronaldo.
He was better than Ronaldo. Way better as well. Like, at the same age. But then, for whatever reason, this is a brother just attitude, application, all these things. Ronaldo's a proper winner in his head. Quaresma is a just vibes footballer, whereas Ronaldo's a winner, innit? Quaresma just wants to nutmeg someone, do a Rabona, and he's happy you'll go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what
He's up for the YouTube highlights. That's what gets him ready for the morning, lad. You know what I mean?
He's literally, he's a highlight footballer, whereas Cristiano's just literally a winner, innit? Yeah. And that's the difference, bro. Too many times it happens, bro. Bare man are meant to be the next Figo, the next this, the next that, the next, and it never fucking works, bro. Do you know what I mean? It never works out. So when my man bust through, he was meant to be the next of the crop of, you know what I mean, the next one of United's successful youth players. But honestly, when you look at Manchester United, yeah, the academy is severely overrated, bro. Like, apart from the class of 92, yeah, how many academy players have they actually brought through that have turned out, yeah, to have, like, long careers at the actual club, bro? At the actual club, not guys that have gone into the Premier League and had a career. Because Kieran Richardson, Danny Simpson, all these other guys played for the United. Even Robbie Savage was in the fucking United youth team, and they've gone and had professional careers in the Premier League. That's cool, but how many of these men have stood the test of time, yeah, and managed to go through 2 or 3 rebuilds like Ryan Giggs? Do you know what I mean? Ryan Giggs literally played in about 3 or 4 different Man United teams. Same with Gary Neville. Most of these guys that come through the academy, they're there for a year or 2, and then they're at fucking Sunderland or something.
Yeah.
You know, like that. So, like, really and truly, this academy, since the class of 92, has been massively overrated.
No, therefore, and I think that's because you've been so desperate to get that back, or Man United have been so desperate to get that back. There's just, because that's what they've sold themselves on, you know, this era of football. Because Man United, they've had two successful periods with Sir Alex Ferguson and, excuse me, the other manager slips me mind, from time ago, fucking, he was there for like 2
What, you mean Sir Matt, you mean?
Yeah, man. Like, they were the 2 really big periods for Manchester United, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, they want to use the most recent one, of course, because that's what everyone knows, and that's what they want to stick with, because it was so fucking good. It was almost like kind of unreal when you started to see the drop-off of Manchester United. Like, no one saw... Like, there might have been people who had an idea, but no one really saw United's drop-off be this bad when they've just been left, you know, with Sir Alex Ferguson, who, even though he'll leave, you know, he's going to leave the club in good hands, and it just never turns out to be that way. And we talk about players like Rashford, and we talk about the PR teams. It's a shame they set him up to only go downhill from there, because... Like, I brought up Peter Crouch before, because he ended up having a successful career, don't get me wrong, but he's still respected in England. If people see him, they'll be like, well, he done his thing, you know what I mean? Whereas Rashford, he's not going to be looked at in that way, no matter where he goes from here. Rashford was supposed to be, as we've mentioned, the next Ronaldo, the next this, the next that. But that weren't ever really his ceiling, you know.
It was never his ceiling.
It was never his ceiling. So it's one of them things where, now that we've realised that, we've set him up to fail.
Of course we have, bro. The media have, bro. Like, his ceiling was always Danny Welbeck, bro. And that's why I called him Rashbeck, bro. I told you, man, early doors, bro, when I coined the Rashbeck thing, because I saw it. Because Danny Welbeck, yeah, Bruv, man was playing against Real Madrid in the Champions League, you know. You don't understand how he burst on the scene for Man United. Like, he was playing big, like, European games, and everyone thought the world was going to be his oyster. And then it wasn't, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. But the difference is now with social media and stuff like that, it's so easy now to propel people to different heights that you couldn't do before.
Because you've
do you
got
know
stats
what I mean?
that can back them up in a certain argument. You've got these
stats, yep, 100% stats, and then people see the stats, and then they start comparing your stats to players that are much better than you stats, and saying you must be as good as this player because your numbers are better than this player's numbers. Do you know what I mean? That's how football works now. It's like if you've got better numbers than a player, then automatically you're better than them. There's no argument. Yep. So because we're living in this era now, man are comparing apples and oranges again.
It's like Trent and Reece James, and I'm not even trying to downgrade Trent here because I do think the slander he gets for defending isn't as deserved from time to time, but he clearly needs to improve. And even though, because I saw the other week, he has better stats than Reece James defensively in terms of like success rate, most tackles made. But here's the thing,
but it doesn't look like that though. Yeah,
but it doesn't mean he's a better defender. Does that make sense? And that's what people do get confused in. And it's
but again, on paper, Harry Maguire and Mustafi are better than Van Dijk. So, do you know what I mean? Like, that's what stats do, mate. They're fucking horrible. How can you compare Trent and Reece James and genuinely think that Trent's a better defender? You can't, innit, if you watch football. But then when you look at the numbers say that Trent's as good a defender. Brother, he's not. And that is why, in the modern day game, you have to use the eye test. Do you know what I mean? Because then if you don't, then you're comparing apples and oranges. And that's what man are doing with Rashford. They're saying, right, he scored this amount of goals. Mo Salah scores this amount. He must be as good as Mo Salah. No, he's not. No, he's not, bruv. He's not even in the same tier as Mo Salah. I don't like Mo Salah as a footballer, but I respect what he does and I respect what he can do in it. And he's a lot better than Marcus Rashford. Do you know what I mean? So when I see man put in the same conversation, it's only due to numbers, bro. That's all it is. And they've put man in a stratosphere now where his brand is bigger than the player. He's never going to be able to live up to off the pitch, on the pitch. Yep. Never. Because he's not that good.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And it's not his fault. It's society, it's social media, it's the era that we're in, unfortunately. And man's PR team's not helping him. They think they're helping him, but they're not. Because the more his performances start to deteriorate, the more stick he's going to get. We live in an era now in social media where these dickheads have never felt so comfortable abusing people because they know they're not going to get punished, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, I woke up to a fucking DM today, yeah? And I'll even show man it, yeah? I saved it. I screenshotted it because I don't really get them. Do you know what I mean? I don't get them
it's
too
just
much.
Some little 16-year-old thing.
Man said, hey, monkey, yeah? Kante better than Fred. Look, in there. And I screenshotted it. Monkey, you know, from some pussy, yeah? And again, he doesn't even follow me. You know, like that. So it's so easy for these bres to do this now on social media. It's so easy for these guys to do it. And I don't get messages like that a lot. I'm not going to lie, yeah, brother. I used to get racials all the time, yeah, but that's the first time anyone's called me a monkey. I'm not going to lie. And I found it funny because I'm like, brother, if I saw you in real life, I would separate your nose from your face. But you can send me that. And it was probably some little... But it's some little 15-year-old.
That's what I mean, lad. He's having a wank on his ma's bed sheets. It's like, it doesn't really matter. We really should not be valuing the opinions of these absolute little knobheads who have not developed in life yet. Honestly, it means fuck all. And you know, if you are a fully developed person and you're spending your time where you could be making money, time is money, Rants, you know this. And it's like, if you're spending that time messaging people based on an opinion or fucking trying to be racist or whatever, like, sincerely, they are the ones that are losing. I say this all the time. They are genuinely the ones that are muppets. It makes no sense. If you're happy in life, like, every time I've been happy, my first thought is not to go ahead and end someone any hate or anything like that. Like, but even,
bro, it's so easy to do in this era now. It's so
easy to do because all you need to do is just have, like, do you know what as well? I really do think this. I think there's people out there who, in the public, or I know this actually, there's people out there in the public eye who will be a completely different person. In fact, you might think they're one of the greatest people you've ever met, but they just make an account based on the fact that they can, just to say some opinion that maybe in the back of their head they can't release to other people instead, and it just releases this sort of chemical outside of them that makes them feel better. And that's what I don't like. Anyone can do it, even people who don't mean their opinion or don't mean what they say. That could be one of the first time that kid who messaged you has said the word monkey to someone.
But there you go.
But
that's why you've got to understand, that, bro, like, he's a footballer, that's not doing very well at football, bruv. Take him out the firing line because he will get abused. Messages like this, I don't care about, bruv, because I'm doing very, very well in the field that I'm in, bruv. Like, so, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing well. So it doesn't matter what he says. My man's not doing well right now, and he hasn't been doing well for a while, bro. Do you know what I mean? So when man's not doing well, this is when the abuse comes, bro. When you're playing football and you're playing well, he wasn't getting this abuse. No one heard about him getting racially abused 2 years ago, but it's happening now because he's not playing well. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is exactly what man's saying. You have to protect these men. They've put him in a situation now where what he's doing off field is here and what he's doing on field is here. So now he's getting abused because they expect him to be doing this on the field, but his ceiling was always here.
Yep.
Literally, it's not his fault.
No, it's not. It's a shame, lad. That is a proper shame.
It's not his fault, bro. But he's getting battered, bro, and he will continue to get battered probably for the rest of his career because he will never be able to live up on the pitch to what he's doing off it. He'll never be able to compare, which is why I feel like when footballers are at the top of their game, this is the time to do stuff like this. When you're at the top of your game, or even better, finish on a high and then do all that shit after, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Well, you don't need to do it when you're not playing well. You don't need to be doing these things.
No. When you're playing well, just focus on doing that, because then the love will just come along with it. I said this while Manny was playing well. Like, it's clearly his confidence is shot. Don't play him. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but that's what I mean.
It's mad the way people. I think this is crazy. It's mad the way people can expect someone to do so well at a job like football all year round, every single game. There's some players that can, and fair play to them, do you know what I mean? But sometimes life just gets a bit too shit. Look at that.
You guys, Robbo and Trent have a little thing that they do on your socials, a little thing where they're driving in a car and they're having banner.
That needs to be quality. That's fucking boss.
It's quality. But they did it when Liverpool were winning and they were playing well. Liverpool have had a bad season. They're not fucking dropping that now because they've read the room.
Yep. And
they've actually said, yeah, we're not really playing that well. Maybe now's not a great time to be doing this.
Like, guys, when Trent was playing shit, there's no point in like that, because all the comments are going to be is, oh, is he spending his time doing videos like this when he should be focusing on getting better? Like, that's the way the comments work.
Of course.
That's the way it works. Even though that was probably filmed like 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, people don't put two and two together. They think it was filmed yesterday, uploaded today, and he's therefore he's wasting his time doing that and should be training. Fucking hell, should a man be training 24/7? Do you know what I mean? Like, it confuses me. But this is the problem about having so many opinions in the same room and taking in so many opinions. But I agree with you though, lads. Get them out the picture. If they're playing shit, and it's not like a 2-3 game where you're playing shit. Like, if you're playing shit for the full season, take them out the firing line, avoid the abuse, and also try and evolve your team, because now you've realised there's a player who's out of form. Let him do what he needs to do. Let him work for his position, because that can sometimes be a great thing, and then we can go from there. But at least you're trying something instead of persisting with the same thing that's not good for you or good for the player.
Yeah, 100% facts, bro. And that's what it is. Read the room. Protect these guys, bro, or the abuse is flipping inevitable.
It's like N'Golo Kante. He can win all these trophies, right? The difference between Kante getting abuse today and yesterday is the performance that he has in that Champions League final.
Yeah.
So a man of the match performance. Oh my God, what a player, what a story, what a life this lad's been through. You know, World Cup winner, Premier League winner, bringing up all of his accolades and more. How good of a player he is. People are saying he should be in the Ballon d'Or conversation now, which 2 months ago they weren't. Off one good performance. Bad performance. He needs to be sold. All the racist words you can think under the sun. This, that and the other. Like, mate, that's just the way it is. So to take these opinions with value is the thing that's shit. Do you know what I mean? And 100%. It's these PR teams that are making it worse for them. But I just saw a question then, that I actually thought was interesting, and I asked it the other day, but I've just been reminded. Do you think Frank Lampard should get a Champions League medal? because he
No.
got them out the group stage?
Hell no. You know what I mean? He shouldn't, because if he was still their manager, they wouldn't have gotten any further than that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm on it, but still, like, you know, winning the group stage doesn't mean that you're winning trophies.
Who did Chelsea beat in the semi-finals again? Dortmund? Was it? No, Man City beat Dortmund. Chelsea played.
Nah, I think Man City beat PSG. Weren't it? Or am I just chat? Nah, I think it was PSG. And then Chelsea beat Real Madrid. Or
Chelsea beat Real Madrid. Well, there you go. Because I remember Giroud scored the bicycle, right? It was Giroud scored a bicycle kick at Real Madrid, I think. Or was that Atletico?
Let me think. Atletico. That was Atletico.
That's what I'm saying. There you go. So Lampard would have not gone to Atleti, and got an away goal and a 1-0 win. There's no way. He would have got smoked. Do you know what I mean? So he doesn't deserve a medal.
And also, if you get offered that medal, you shouldn't really take it, especially if you're someone like Frank Lampard, who literally...
Shameless if he ever
even thought about it, that'd be shit, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like I remember, because I was slow as a kid, yeah, because I was fat and that. Lad, I came last in one of the sports days. It was a bad day for me. I tripped up and that. I shouldn't have came last. I should have came about 5th. There was 7 of us. But I tripped over. I walked to the end of that race, and the teacher tried coming up to me with a certificate. I was so ashamed. You know how sports days work, the way they get the whole year group to watch it and stuff like that. I literally fell in front of everyone, and you're there trying to give me a certificate. Fuck off. I don't want you in my face waving some paper round, because it's honestly nonsense. Like giving prizes for people who come last. How ridiculous. The nonsense behind it. It's actually more shameful. It's actually more shameful. If you ever received an award for losing, it's the worst. It's a horrible feeling.
It's patronising, isn't it?
It's patronising as fuck. It's like, A for effort, well done. Maybe next time.
A participation certificate, yeah? Like, I don't understand. You shouldn't get that, bro. Like, that doesn't make no sense to me. My thing is, yeah, if you don't win that Champions League, you shouldn't get nothing, bro. You got them at the group stages, but in the knockout stages where it mattered, yeah, Lampard didn't do nothing, bro. That doesn't make no sense. That don't make no sense. He shouldn't even get a thank you, bro. You know, like that. What should he, brother? He got sacked because he wasn't good enough. That's just what it was.
That he weren't good enough, because it weren't like Thomas Tuchel came in. Because Thomas Tuchel could have came in, done shit, and that would have been fine because they were shit when Frank Lampard was there. He's literally came in and changed the team. Based on form, I don't know what the form table is like since Thomas Tuchel came in, but surely they're top 2, top 3 in the league. Frank Lampard had them like 9th, by the way, and also has just won them a Champions League. And even though they lost it, got them to an FA Cup final. Played the maximum amount of games.
Yeah.
Cannot complain with that in first season with a group of players that aren't even yours.
Bruv, that's literally, yeah. Man just clocked. That is literally like your missus, yeah, breaking up with you, yeah. Getting a new boyfriend, getting married. And then he's going to invite you to the wedding and thank you. What are you thanking me for, bruv? Well, bruv, if she didn't dump you, then I wouldn't be married to her now. Literally, it's that. Yeah. Nah, she dumped you because you weren't good enough. There's nothing to thank me for. There's nothing to thank me for. If I was good enough, I would still be with her, bruv. I'm not, because I wasn't good enough for her and she got rid of me. That's what happened. What are you going to say? Thank me? Because I taught her how to make a good fucking bacon sandwich or whatever? Even though I don't eat pork. You know what I mean? Imagine that. Imagine getting a text from your ex's new boyfriend saying,
piss.
You know what I mean? Yo, thanks. Do you know what I mean? Thanks.
Taking proper liberties, saying thank you to me. It's like, what is that a gift? No,
man, I say thanks.
A gift from my show. Like,
you know, like that. Man, I say thanks, bruv. Yeah. Thanks for what, bruv? You know that, bro? That don't make no sense.
No, it makes zero sense. No, I agree with you, lads. I just thought it was an interesting topic of conversation because you got them out the group stage and whatnot, you know what I mean? Listen, he had them 9th, people. Let's stop talking about all this trying to sentimental bullshit. He failed at Chelsea. He was successful as a player. He failed as a manager. It can happen. It's just the way it is. Welcome to football. It's not all sunshines and rainbows on this side of the park, motherfuckers. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can go wrong. And it's like he's a young manager, so let him go away and develop instead of trying to force feed him trophies and medals that he doesn't even deserve. Know what I mean, lads? It's one of them things with Frank Lampard. He's done well, but as a manager, it's just not quite there yet. It's not quite there, or as a coach.
Bruv, it's done out here. Yeah, I'm saying.
Heavy, man. Yeah, Trent is fully not going the Euros. Like, nah, well.
Is he definitely not going? I thought the squad don't get announced till tomorrow.
It's everywhere. Do you know what I mean, lad? Like, there's got to be some substance to it. And I didn't think he was going to anyway, so this kind of just basically confirms it.
Yeah. Man said thanks for being garbage. It's true though. But listen, sometimes it doesn't work out, but a Lampard thing it doesn't work out. Like, he had the players and it didn't work out because he wasn't good enough, bro. Like, it wasn't a case where, oh, you know what, guys, we just grown apart. Bruv, they won the fucking Champions League the same season. It wasn't a grown apart thing. It was you didn't know how to handle what you had, bro. That's all it was. You know what I mean? It wasn't a grown apart, bruv. Poch and fucking Tottenham grew apart after 4 years of finishing in the top 4 and that. Do you know what I mean? Man didn't get back to the transfer market. That's what growing apart is. Do you know what I mean? He outgrew the club and then he left. Lampard didn't outgrow Chelsea. He didn't get started, mate. He didn't even get started, and then he's going to go and relegate Crystal Palace now. It's a mad thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Frank Lampard spent 200 and something million in the transfer market, bro. And then a manager came in and won the Champions League with them. Done out here, bro. Man got dumped, innit? End of story.
Just finished.
He got dumped, innit?
No, Frank Lampard, yeah, nah, he tried and he failed. It happens to the best of us. We go again. This time with Crystal Palace.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is most certainly a downgrade on Roy Hodgson. I am not going to lie to you. And I'm not a fan of Roy Hodgson.
That's it.
Are you hearing this news about Coutinho coming back?
To where?
To Liverpool.
No chance. I don't see Klopp taking him back.
Nah, he won't. He won't. But because Barcelona, they owe us so off this Coutinho transfer. So what they're trying to do is basically, instead of giving us the 50 million that they owe us, they're trying to offload Coutinho back. Fuck off, mate. We want Coutinho. If we're going to take Coutinho back, I want at least 30 million along with that, because he is not worth 50 million. He's really, really not. And I'm not saying that he hasn't got that ability, but he's not worth 50 million. Lads, he just isn't. With the things that he's done in the time away from the club, the last time he looked world class was at Liverpool. The last time he looked good was at Bayern Munich.
Yeah,
he never looked well. People say when he was at Bayern Munich, he was fucking amazing. He weren't even starting. He played in a few games. He scored.
Barcelona Coutinho was as good as it got, yeah, like post Liverpool, and then after that, it kind of looked a bit meh.
Pete Coutinho was at Liverpool. I always say,
yeah, of course it was.
If he came back, it's only ruined the image. So just don't even ruin that. Coutinho had an era, even though it weren't filled with trophies and whatnot. He literally had an era to himself. He was the best player in that team. Like when Gerrard was on the other side of the hill, Coutinho was the one then stepping up and winning us games. When Luis Suarez left and Daniel Sturridge had injuries, Coutinho was the one who stepped up and then, you know, carried us through that time and give us that element of feeling decent of football. And then he left, and you know, it hasn't worked out, but it doesn't mean you go back to it. You know, that last season that we had with Coutinho, that's one that I don't want to have any other picture. Because he was unreal, and regardless whether he wanted to push the move or I don't care, it was unbelievable just getting to watch that for 6 months.
Yeah,
and then for the years beforehand, scoring worldies since Coutinho's left, no one at Liverpool has been doing what he was doing. No one. Scoring bangers every single week, so I don't want that to be ruined, man.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a very bloody good point, man. But yeah, man, people, smash up the like button. 1.4 in here.
As always.
You know what I'm saying? That's it. Make sure you follow James Redmond TV. What you got coming up, bro? Rest of the week, people. And big up everyone for the 60k as well.
As always, listen, that was a beautiful way to start the stream. I enjoyed it and that. Nah, plans... Just videos as always, lad. Just stay tuned to the channel, and there'll be stuff there. Some sort of content on a day-to-day basis. We're trying to stay working in a time where there's no Liverpool games, but we got that on lock, man. So come over, subscribe, and yeah, nice one for having me on again, brother. Another good show. Know what I mean?
Yeah, boy. That's it. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. The link is in the title as usual, people. Make sure you catch up with the the Rants Reacts as well, people. You already know what it is.
Oh, you got a Luis Suarez one up yesterday. I saw the notification. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah. It's a Liverpool one as well, so it's quality.
Is it the one at Liverpool?
Yeah.
Boss.
It's a Liverpool one. So yeah, man, there's some good stuff for you lot to catch up on. Do you know what I mean? So enjoy that, people. And yo, man, I'll